Level 1. The Escape. It begins with a girl who trusted you and a blast of light that kills 40 people. Lux comes to stop the execution because she believes, despite everything, that you are still her friend. She is right that you are her friend. She is wrong that this matters more than 15 years of chains and darkness and petricita burning wherever it touched your skin, and 2 mage seeker guards who shoved food through a slot in a door and never once looked at you like you were a person. When she leans close, you take what you need, and you do not look at her face when you do it. The blast opens the courtyard like a wound. You walk through the smoke. You break open the mage seeker prison with your bare hands, and the mages who pour out into the street are blinking in sunlight they haven't seen in years, some of them, and they look at you the way people look at the man who opened the door they had stopped believing would ever open. You charge for the palace. Garen meets you in the street, enormous, furious, carrying the full weight of Demacian's certainty like armor over his armor. You fight. You are winning when Killen pulls you back. Your old mentor. He shows you the tunnel. He gives you the way out. You take it, not from fear, from the understanding that you cannot burn a kingdom down in a single night. You have to come back with more fire. King Jarvan III is dead by the time you clear the city walls. You did not kill him. You will spend years not being believed about this. Level 2. The Gathering. You find Leilani in Zephyra, which is where the people who have nowhere else go. She is young and certain and has built a rebellion out of frustration and ingenuity and the particular organizational talent of someone who cares enormously about other people. A talent you do not have and have always needed. She looks at you and sees a symbol. You look at her and see someone who can make the symbol useful. You teach her rebels to fight. They teach you, slowly and against your resistance, to lead, which is different from fighting, which requires you to care about outcomes rather than just the act of destroying the thing that needs destroying. Morgana finds you in the sacred woods and challenges you to a duel and wins, and tells you with the patience of someone who has been watching Demacia's cruelty for longer than you have been alive, that rage alone cannot fix a kingdom, that a teacher is needed, that the rebellion has to be something people can believe in, and not just something they can be afraid of. You listen to Morgana the way you have listened to nothing else in your life. You do not tell anyone this. The rebellion grows. Mage by mage, safe house by safe house, raid by raid on mage seeker outposts in the dark. You steal their weapons, their supplies, the magic of every mage seeker who makes the mistake of fighting you directly. Your chains still burn on your skin. You keep them. They are the most honest thing about you. Level 3. The Assault. The second time you walk into the great city of Demacia, you do not come alone. 300 mages move through the streets at dawn beside you. This is a different Demacia than the one you left. Jarvan III dead, Jarvan IV on a throne he inherited from grief and fury, the mage seekers cracking down harder than before, with the specific brutality of an institution that knows it is losing. The Petricite walls stand, the dauntless vanguard stands. Garen stands, as he always stands, with the unshakable quality of a man for whom retreat is a concept that applies to other people. The fighting is 3 days of street by street, block by block, mage fire and Petricite, and the grinding attrition of people who have everything to fight for against people who believe they are the thing worth fighting for. Leilani falls on the second day. You hold the line for 4 hours, after that on pure fury and then grief, which is something you have never allowed yourself before, and which is worse than the fury. You reach the Mage Seeker headquarters. You find Eldred Crownguard at his desk. He argues that killing him changes nothing, that another will take his place, that the institution is larger than any individual. He is correct in the way that people who have spent their lives administrating cruelty are correct. Methodically, without imagination. You execute him anyway. Jarvan IV meets you in the corridor, Shyvana at his side. You overpower them, absorbing the magic of a fallen rebel nearby, channeling it through the chains that have become part of how you think about yourself, the symbols of your imprisonment turned into the architecture of your power. You prepare to kill the prince. Ruko stops you. Your rebels are surrounded and need you, and you have to choose between the king's life and the lives of your people. You choose your people. This is the choice that changes everything that comes next. Level 4. The Throne. Jarvan IV does not surrender. He retreats. The distinction matters. He retreats with the dauntless vanguard and a third of the Demacian military to the Argent Mountains, where the terrain is Demacian and the Petricite runs deep in the rock, and the castle at Fossbarrow can be held indefinitely by people who know how. He takes Garen. He takes Xinjiao. He takes the letter his father wrote, the one ordering the Mage Seekers disbanded, the one that might have ended everything before it started, and he reads it one more time, and puts it somewhere it cannot make him feel what it makes him feel. You take the great city. This is the moment where the victory becomes something more complicated than the fight was. The fight had a clear shape. The chains, the 15 years, the institution that needed destroying. The great city has 40,000 people in it who are not Mage Seekers, who are not nobles, who are not crown guards. Farmers and merchants and soldiers who believed in Demacia the way people believe in the place that made them. They look at you with the careful blankness of people waiting to find out what the new thing costs them. You make 3 proclamations in the first week. The mage seekers are abolished. All registered mages are free. Anyone who hit a mage will not be punished. The 4th thing you do not proclaim. The 4th thing is that you do not know how to run a kingdom. You have never run anything except a rebellion, and a rebellion runs itself once the anger is large enough. A kingdom requires the thing you spent years fighting against: administration, laws, the boring structural machinery that determines whether people eat and whether the roads hold, and whether someone addresses the question of what replaces the mage seekers for the large number of Demacians who are genuinely afraid of uncontrolled magic, and have reasons for that fear that are not entirely illegitimate. Morgana advises you Leilani is dead, and you feel her absence in every meeting, every decision, every moment you reach for her judgment and find only your own. You are better at governing than you expected. You are not good enough. Level 5. The Fracture. Noxus sends congratulations. It is the most frightening correspondence you have ever received. Swain's letter is warm, collegial, full of admiration for your revolution and interest in the new Demacia's diplomatic future. You read it 4 times and show it to no one except Morgana, who reads it once and says, "He had your king killed. He was waiting for the chaos you created. You know this. You knew it before she said it. You have been carrying it since someone told you, 3 days after the escape, who actually put the knife in Jarvan III. The Demacians in the mountains are not sitting still. Jarvan IV is rebuilding. He has Petricite. He has Garen. He has the institutional memory of a military that has spent a century fighting Noxus, and knows how to be patient under siege conditions. He also has something you didn't anticipate: mages. Demacian mages who came out during the rebellion, who fought beside you in the streets, who have now followed Jarvan into the mountains because they do not trust you, and they trust what you are building even less. This is the thing that keeps you awake at night, not Noxus, not Jarvan. The fact that the people you are supposed to be liberating are in the mountains with the man whose father locked them up. You go to Leilani's grave in Zephyra, which is where you started all of this. You stand there for a long time. You think about what she told you. That rage alone cannot fix a kingdom, that a teacher is needed, that the rebellion has to be something people can believe in. You think about the 40 people who died in the courtyard the day you escaped. You think about Lux's face. You go back to the great city. You open the Mage Seeker archives, all the records of every mage taken, every family separated, every child registered and branded as an affliction, and you have them published. Every name, every case, every institutional decision made by people who told themselves they were protecting Demacia. Let the mountain see what it was protecting. The Civil War is not over. It may not end in your lifetime. But for the first time since the chains came off, you understand that the fight was never just about the chains. It was about what a kingdom owes the people it decided to bury. You are still deciding what that answer looks like. So is Demacia.